Hello everyone, Mike Ferris here with you guys once again, and I am going to show you guys my PlayStation 3 games. This is my PS3 collection. When that is finished, I will be doing the next day my Xbox 360 games. You can see that I have both Xbox 360 games and PlayStation 3 games here being held up by bunnies. And this is probably going to take several parts due to time constraints, so let's get started now. This is the PlayStation 3 game collection. First up, Grand Theft Auto 4 and episodes from Liberty City. This is one of my my relaxation games, my leisure games, where I just go into party mode by myself and just shoot people with the cops off, and it is so relaxing to do. And Grand Theft Auto is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, and it's just I just love it to death. I don't really play the missions. The missions are too hard for me. But open world games are one of my favorites, and this is one of the two pillars, in my opinion, of open world. And the other, of course, being the Elder Scrolls. So yeah, one of my favorites. Definitely a game I play a lot. So yeah, love this. Next up is Madden NFL 09. And I got this for cheap, like $1 something at GameStop. And what I do with sports games, I don't really play them. I do something really dorky. I have the computer play both sides and watch it like it's a real game. That's how much of a nerd I am. I have several sports games just for that purpose. Anyways, that's why I got this. Plus, it's cheap, so why not? There's another sports game that does the same thing, only with baseball. MLB 08 The Show. And this is exclusive to PlayStation. Again, the same thing that I said about Madden goes to this game and all my other sports games, so yeah. This next game is very overrated in my opinion, and it's Assassin's Creed 2. There is a lot to love about this game. Don't get me wrong. The world and the action sequences and just the open world itself is phenomenal. But the problem I have with it is the controls. If you try to jump on something that you can't jump on, if you try to climb up something or that you cannot, or jump onto something that you cannot get on, your character will automatically jump to the other side, and it throws me off so bad. And when you're running away from enemies, it can be very frustrating and confusing. So yeah, I'm not really into this. If the controls were more like Arkham City, this would be so much better. This would be one of the best games. But because of the controls, I have to knock it. I have to say that I'm not really into it. I also have issues with I also think Desmond is unnecessary. That's just my opinion. LittleBigPlanet 2. This basically is a game developer's kit. This turns players into game developers, basically. And that's what makes this so awesome. You can make your own games, play your own games, upload them, have other people play your games, and play other people's games. It's fantastic. The only issue I have with it is you have to go to this tutorial, and there's a boss that I felt was kind of hard for me before you can access the custom levels. The custom levels are the only reason I picked this up, and the custom levels are very fun. Just go through them, make your own, have a blast. Next up is Heavy Rain, and this is a game that I really enjoyed. It's very intense. There's a moment when you're driving against traffic where I dropped my controller because I was getting into it so much. It's basically a psychological thriller that you play. So if you're into like dark murder mystery thriller type stuff, this is the game for you. The voice actors aren't very good, but I can forgive that. That's a minor gripe. Overall, I really enjoy this game, and even if you suck and get the worst ending possible, there's a twist that will just blow your mind. And the reason the twist works so well is because it's interactive, and that's all I can say about it. Next up is the Sonic Genesis Collection, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. It has over 40 titles. Everything from all the Sonic games to Golden Axe and Altered Beast and all that. And Streets of Rage, that's pretty fun. Yeah, so if you're into old classic games, This, if you're into nostalgia, this is for you. Now, I didn't grow up with the Genesis. I grew up with Super Nintendo, but I do remember playing Sonic at the store, and I loved it. So yeah, pick this up. It's 40 games for 20 bucks. It's a good deal. Next up is Skate 3. I love skateboarding games, and since Tony Hawk has dropped the ball recently, this has really picked up the tab. Now, the reason why I'm into these types of games is because of the soundtrack. But the soundtrack on here isn't very good. But, like, the old Tony Hawk soundtracks were amazing back in the Pro Skater days, but here, not so much. But you can use custom soundtracks to make up for that. So I can post all the punk songs I want on here and skate to them, and then free roam, and I love that. It's a leisure thing of mine. It's part of leisure gaming for me. So yeah, I really dig this. So yeah, customize your soundtrack, listen to what songs you want to hear, and you will have fun with this. Next up is Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2, and it also comes with Dead Space Extraction. This game is like going through a haunted house, and that is awesome. It's very intense, very suspenseful. The way that the audio is used, the way the visuals are used. Very, very scary game. And games are scarier than movies, in my opinion, because you can fail. And when you fail, the results are gruesome. So if you're a horror fan, pick this up. Next up is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and this got bad reviews, you know, this game didn't do too well in the reviews for it, but it did do well in sales. I picked it up because I like Star Wars, and it was cheap, so I was like, okay, I'll pick this up. I got stuck somewhere because I didn't know where to go. That's often seems to be the case with hack and slash games for me for some reason. But yeah, if you're a Star Wars nerd, it's cheap. Pick this up, give it a shot, see what you think. Next one I got at GameStop Kids for under $1, I think. It was really cheap. Actually, no, it was $1.79. Really, really cheap game. It's undisputed. It's UFC 2009 Undisputed. You can't let the PC play for you on this, unfortunately. You actually have to play it. But the good news is it is really, really easy, which I like. I love easy games. I'm not into hard games. I don't like to be frustrated. So this is a game. If you got $1 and you're at GameStop or near video games or wherever, you got $1 on you, pick this up. Next up is Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots. And the problem I have with this game is that there's no in-game tutorial, I don't think. I mean, they don't really tell you what buttons to push. You actually have to look it up. And that confused me. However, there's a really good story here. It's a solid, pun intended, conclusion to the series. And I know the Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming up, but I think that's a prequel. Like, it takes place before this. So yeah, and plus I do enjoy cutscenes. I know a lot of gamers don't, but I do. And this game has plenty of that as well. And it also has something that the mainstream media doesn't tell you. That it talks about the war economy. That's right, you get more news from a video game than you do actual news. So yeah, pick this up. It's if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, you probably have it already. Next up is the Batman Arkham series, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Batman Arkham City. I'm not really digging Origins too much from what I've seen. It doesn't really look that impressive. Plus, it's not Rocksteady, didn't do it, so, and the reviews have been kind of mixed. But these two games, Asylum and Arkham City, are must-haves if you're a Batman fan. If you are a fan of Batman, this is a love letter to you. It really just oozes the Batman universe and all the characters, how they're played, the fact that Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are in these games. You just can't go wrong with it. If you're a Batman fan, play these. Play them both. Next up is Gran Turismo 5, and what disappointed me about Gran Turismo 5 is the fact that if you choose to use the custom soundtracks feature, it'll play one song over and over. So yeah, that disappointed me. Otherwise, it's a racing game. It's Gran Turismo. I can't really say too much about it. Next up is Heavenly Sword, and I was digging this until I got to the part where I had to use the 6-axis controller to control a cannon. And I was doing so badly I gave up. So yeah, with the exception of that, the rest of it was pretty fun. It was okay. It was pretty decent. But I really didn't like the 6-axis. It took me out of the game, and I haven't played it since because of it. So drop the 6-axis, and you'll have a good game. Next up is Journey with the Collector's Edition. It also comes with the games Flower, Flow, and a few others. Journey, I'm going to tell you something about Journey that's interesting. I actually got stuck at the final level. I went someplace I wasn't supposed to go, and I couldn't get back. And we're talking about the very last level, when everything is going good for your character. So I had to replay the snow mission, which took me out of it. But I have to say, this is a phenomenal experience. If you haven't played Journey, you must play it. And the best thing about it is, you can't die! But even with the fact you can't die, it's still suspenseful at times. It still manages to be very intense in moments. But it's a beautiful experience. I highly recommend it. I also recommend Flower. Flower is really good too. I mean, Flower is that's where the 6-axis controller worked well. I was actually able to use it effectively there, unlike Heavenly Sword. Flow I couldn't control. I just wasn't able to do it. So yeah, I gotta say, this is a must-have. Pick this up now. And I am almost at my 15-minute limit, and I could go on with a couple more games here in this video, but if I do that, I'm probably going to go overboard, so I'm going to stop it here. This is going to be a more than one-parter, as I knew it would be. Stay tuned for the second part of my PlayStation 3 video game collection. Take care.